Hi everyone, good afternoon. First of all, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Wei Jie and I'm representing AEC Private Limited to host this event today. The topics that we'll be covering today will be on GstarCAD overview. What I'll be showing you today will be the workflow of how to use GstarCAD to complete a very simple drawing. And then along the way, I'll be covering a lot of different things like example, using some of the drawing tools to help you to draw some simple shapes, how to do modifications of the shape that you have already created, how to properly organize your drawings, apply annotation to it, and last but not least, how to convert the drawing into a PDF or even print it out onto the paper size that you want. And then during the workflow itself, I will also highlight some of the unique tool that is only available in GstarCAD that can help you to speed up your designing process. To start off the webinar, I will take some time to talk about my company, AEC Private Limited, followed by doing a software demonstrations on the workflow using GstarCAD, and then summarize what I've done. And at the end, I will end it off with a Q&A session. Okay, just a bit of information with regards to my company. So ACAD is the authorized exclusive distributor for GstarCAD in the Singapore region. We are also authorized reseller for a very wide range of software solutions. Example, we have a lot of different 2D and 3D CAD solutions, rendering softwares. We have quite a few of them for you to, if you are interested to know more about it, you can always contact us for the information. And then for all the solutions that we carry, we also provide trainings and certifications. We have a team of trainers, and we always welcome you to actually come to our training center to learn how to use the software that we have. We also have a team of professionals that are always committed to provide you with the answers, if any you have, with regards to any software that we have. We are always there to answer your inquiry. Okay, over here, we'll be talking about GstarCAD. So for those who don't know what is GstarCAD, basically GstarCAD is a 2D and 3D CAD software that can help you to draw anything that is 2-dimension and 3 dimensions. Okay, and then what makes GstarCAD so popular in the market is highlighted over here with the 4 points. So the first point is compatibility. So let's say if you are using, if you are used to using some other 2D CAD software other than GstarCAD, when you open up GstarCAD, you'll find that the user interface is pretty much very similar. So what this means is that the learning curve, if you are going to come over to GstarCAD, is very, very minimum. And then on top of that, the file format that we can open and export is also the same as many CAD software out there, which basically is the DXF and the DWG formats. And then when it comes to performance, GstarCAD is very fast when it comes to back-end computing of the commands that you're executing. For example, if you're going to draw something in a very huge file, you're going to do some simple navigation from one point to another point in a big file. It goes very smoothly. And then it's also very stable, which means that it doesn't really crash on you that often. Okay, and then the third point will be the unique tools. In GstarCAD, we have a set of tools that we don't have it in many other CAD software, and they are practical features that can help you to reduce the time taken to help you to create your 2D or 3D drawings. And then last but not least will be flexible licensing. So in GstarCAD, we have 2 options. So depending on whether you are actually looking at long-term investment or is a short-term investment for just a particular project, we have perpetual licensing for those who are constantly need to use the software for their job, or those who are just needing the software for a short term, we have subscription mode for you to choose as well. And then over here, these are the customers that we have currently. Not all of them are here, but then these are some of the customers that we have that are already utilizing GstarCAD for their daily job. Right, so now let's move on to the software demonstrations where I'll be highlighting how we can make use of GstarCAD to come up with a very simple drawings. And then along the way, I will also introduce what are the things to take note, what are the unique tools that we have in GstarCAD, and so on and so forth. Okay, so over here, this is what you'll see when you open up GstarCAD. So initially, what I'll be highlighting to you over here is the file format that we have in GstarCAD. So if you click on the top left-hand corner button, over here, you can see the file formats that we can actually open in GStar, which is DWG and DXF. These are the two major ones. And then when it comes to file that we can bring out of GstarCAD, you can see over here, there are DWG as well and DXF, and then many other different versions that you can down save as well. So if your colleague or your client is using some older versions, you can rest assured that you can always send them the correct version of files that they can open and do some editing on it. Okay, next thing will be the interface. You can see current layout of the software is in the ribbon form, which is what is being utilized in most of the 2D CAD tools nowadays. But we also have the options to choose how to lay out all these commands. At the top of the screen, you can actually just click on this classic mode that can rearrange the command into toolbar form. So it depends really on the user, which layout they are more comfortable with. They can always rearrange the command, change the interface as to what they are more comfortable with using. Okay, so I'll go back to the ribbon mode. Okay, over here you can see there's a drawing of a 3D house. So over here I will show you some simple navigation tool that can help you to navigate around the drawing, as well as how to change the visual style of the drawing. So I just have to go to the View tab. Over here under the Navigate 2D panel, you have the Pan command, the Orbit, and the Zoom. So if you click on the Pan command, you are able to move the drawing around the workspace. Okay, and then if you want to rotate the house over here, you can just click on the Constraint Orbit and then just rotate your drawing like this, depending on what's the view that you want. Okay, and then sometimes you'll find that you don't see anything on your drawing. That's not an issue. You can always go to the Zoom command here. There is a Zoom extend that can zoom into whatever that you have in the drawing, which is the 3D house. We can also zoom in into a specific area of the drawing by choosing the window option. Just simply draw a window and this will zoom into that particular area of interest that you want to look at. Okay. And then on the right side over here, there's a panel called Visual Style. We can also change the visual style over here by clicking on the different style that we have on the panel. So you can see while I click on the different options, you can see the visual style will change as well. Okay, so these are the few navigation tool and visual styles that we can utilize in GstarCAD. So now I'm going to move on to the other file, which I'll be showing you the complete workflow of how to draw some geometry on the drawing and then make modifications, organize them properly, annotate all the necessary things in the drawing, and then proceed to get it converted into a PDF. So the first thing over here, you see this is a floor plan without many things on it, just the exterior wall and the interior wall. So first thing I want to create is one more region over here that is highlighted by window that I'm drawing over here. I just want another small room here. So I'm going to look for my drawing tools, which is located in the home tab. So over here, you can see quite a number of extensive commands that we can use to help us to draw the shape that we want. So once I click on one of the drawing tools, you can see there is a small little box that is tied to my cursor that will prompt me what is the next action that I need to execute. So I need to specify the first point of the line that I'm drawing. So I'm going to click somewhere over here. And then when I move my mouse, you can see there are some green colored line that can help me to track whatever angle that I want to draw for this line. So I want to draw a line that is horizontal. So you can see the green line will assist me to help me to get that line to be drawn correctly. And then next, I just need to type in what is the length of the line, which is 19 feet. Enter. Oh, sorry. Do it again. So I'm going to click here, then type 19 feet. Yeah, I think I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Let me change my layer to wall. Okay, I'm going to click on the line command again. Type in 19 feet. Okay, so now you can see my line is drawn over here. Okay, next I'm going to draw a vertical line that is going upwards. So you can see the green color tracking line will show again. That helps me to draw a vertical line. And then I'm going to type in 12 feet to get the length of the line that I want. Okay, next I will draw another line to the left. I will use another way of assisting me to draw accurately by moving my cursor to this point here and then move up. You can see the tracking line appearing that can assist me to draw the shape that I want. So I'll just click here and then join to the bottom of the line. And this will let me create a rectangle with a specific size that I want, which is 19 feet by 12 feet. Okay, next I need to move this rectangle to the center of this region here that I highlighted. Okay, before that, I need to join the lines. So when I select the line now, you can see all the lines are individual segments. Sorry. Okay, individual segments. So I need to make them form one continuous line. I can do that by using the join command. And then now if I hover on the line, you can see now it becomes a polyline, which is a continuous line like this. Okay, next I will go to my ribbon and click on the move command under the modification tool and select the rectangle. I will hover on the midpoint of this line here, followed by the midpoint of the top line. And then when I move my cursor down, you can see I'm able to capture the center point of the rectangle. Okay, now I'm ready to change the position of this rectangle to a new location. Okay, next I'm going to capture the center point of the right line here, center point of the top line, and then move down. And then I'm able to find the center point of that location of that region. And I'm going to click here. And this will make sure that this rectangular region that I'm creating is directly positioned within the area, centralize the location of it. Okay, next I'm going to click on offset. This will allow me to create the interior wall for that region. Okay, so now I have the interior wall created. Okay, now I've already created one small region here. The next thing I want to show you is how to make use of the tool here called graphic compare, the tool that I'm highlighting here. to help me to find out what is the difference between two different drawings. So I'm going to open another drawing here. And then I'm going to align the two drawings on the same view. Okay, so you can see one drawing on the left and one drawing on the right. So the right drawing is the one that I have drawn something in the middle, and then the left one is the default drawing that I haven't did any changes yet. So visually wise, we can easily see what is the difference. But let's say if it's a very big drawing, it's hard for us to visually check what is the differences between two different drawings. So over here, there is a tool called Graphic Compare. So I'm going to click on that, go to Specify File option, and then I'll select the base file and the compare file. So the base file, I'll be going to floor plan backup, and then the base file, I'll go to the floor plan. Okay, now they will ask me for the output drawing, whether I want to export to an external file or whether I want to insert the changes, the differences into the current document. So I'll just set it to the first option here and click OK. And they'll ask me where is the insertion point of the drawing. I'm going to insert somewhere here. Okay, let me do it again. I need to save the file first. Okay, I'm going to do graphic compare. Select the first file, second file, insert here. Okay, so you can see in this drawing, the things that is in red color are the things that is different, that has been recently added to the drawing. So using this graphic compare tool, we can easily find out what is the difference between the two drawings over here. Okay, so I'm going to close the drawing on the left. Okay, I'll delete this. Okay, next up, I'll be using another unique tool called Area Table. This Area Table tool or command is able to help us to find the area of any enclosed region in your drawing. So example, in this floor plan, I have different rooms. I want to find out what is the area of the different room that we have in the drawing. So I'm going to use this command to help me to do that. But before that, I need to have a layer to help me to organize all these informations properly. So in order to create the layers, we can go to the Layer Properties button. And then over here, these are the layers that I have currently created for this drawing. To create a new layer, we have two ways to do that. The first way is the traditional way, which is just create by clicking on the New Layer button. And then you can see a new layer will be created, a new row. And then I just proceed to type in the name of the layer that I want, which is dimensions. And then I can assign a different color so that I can differentiate them with the other objects. Okay, this is one way of doing it. Okay, the other way is we can actually allow the system to help us to create the layers automatically. This can be done by going to the bottom region of the software under the status bar. You can see there is a button called Auto Layer. So once you right click on it, click on Settings. Over here, you will be given this Auto Layer dialog box. So first, I will clear all the settings, enable the Auto Layer command, and then top left-hand corner, you can see there is a Create button. So once I click on the Create button, a new row will be appearing over here. And now I'm actually on the command column. So this command column will determine what type of layer will be created by the system. So the command that I'm using is called Area Table. So once the system detects that I use this particular command, the layer will be created automatically. Okay, so I'll be creating a layer called Area, and then I change the color to maybe it's a bit purplish. And then I'm going to create one more layer settings for my hatch. And then I'll change to another color. Okay, once I'm done, I'll just save my settings. The next step, I'm going to capture the area of all the enclosed region on my floor plan. I'm going to go to my Express tab. And then over here, I can get my area table. That's the command that I'm looking for. So before I click on that, I'm going to go to my layer information. Make sure I don't have the area layer created yet. Then I will go to my Express tab and click on area table. Okay, after I come to this dialog box, I'm going to do some simple adjustment to the settings over here. Okay, so once I'm done, I'm going to click on this select object button. And then now I'm be prompted to choose where I want to put the area table. So I'll put my area table somewhere here. So you can see the table will be created somewhere on the right side. And then I'm going to click on the enclosed region. So once I click on the enclosed region, you can see the table will be automatically populated with the area size of that region. So you can see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So total, there will be 12 regions. And then on the table, you can see all the measurements already populated on the table. Okay, now I'm going to change the size of the region that is with the number 11 on it. So I'm going to select the region, make it a bit smaller. Take note on the area table, the value on it. Okay, so when I make it smaller, you can see the area of number 11, it changes as well. So whatever you are doing on the drawing, the table will also respond accordingly to the changes in the size of that region. Okay, so I'm going to undo. Okay, now after I created the area table, you can see the area table is in a specific color that I've already defined in my auto layer settings. So when I go to my layers information here, you can see now the area layer has been created for me because I've already preset all the settings inside the auto layer, and the system recognize it and then you automatically create it for me. Okay, next will be the blocks. Okay, now we'll move on to blocks. When I turn on the door layer, okay, I'm going to turn on the door layer over here. You can see I have quite a number of doors already created beforehand on different regions of the floor plan. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to create your own block. I need a bigger door than what I have currently. So before that, we make sure that the object or the block that we are creating must be on the correct layer. So it must be on the door layer. And then I'm going to use the rectangle command. And then I'm going to draw a rectangle with a size of 6 inch by 10 inch. Just a very small rectangle block here. And then I'm going to use the copy command to help me to create another duplication of this rectangle. Okay, I will set it to about 5 inch apart. After that, I will need to draw another rectangle over here with a size of 6 inch by 4 feet. And then finish off by drawing an arc with the start, center, end command. And this will give me the shape of the door that I need. Okay, now the next step is to convert whatever geometry that I've created here into a block. Because now if I'm going to hover on any object, all are individual properties. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Insert tab and click on the Create Block button. give a name to the block that you're creating, which is a big door. Select the point for your base point somewhere here. Specify what are the objects that you want for your block, which is everything here. Just to take note that the unit that you are using, which is inches, and then OK. Okay, once I created the block, if I want to bring in the block that I want to use, I can always go to the Insert button over here. And then on the drop down, I can look for big door. And then OK. I can bring in the block that I've created earlier on. Okay, there's a more convenient way of accessing all the blocks that you have. So for example, I can open up this palette called Tool Palette. Under the View tab, I will click on Tool Palette, and then it will appear on the right side. I'll right-click on one of the tabs and create a new palette. Upon doing that, I will select the block and move the block into the new palette. Okay, so once I move it into the new palette, you can see the big door has already been relocated inside the palette. So in the future, if let's say I need the block again, I can open up the new palette, click on the object that I want, and then straight away I can bring the block in. And I'm going to place the door somewhere at this region, about 5 inches away from this corner. Okay, then I'm done. Okay, next step, I'm going to use a command to help me to remove away the wall that is intersecting the door object over here. So I'm going to go to my Home tab, go to the Trim command, and trim away all the unnecessary wall lines, like this. Okay, so it's actually quite convenient. Using the trim tool, we can easily remove any things that we don't want to be visible on the drawing. Okay, I'm done. Okay, once I'm done, I'm going to go back to my layers properties to enable the visibility of all the object that is currently hidden. So you can see under the on column, right, some of the light bulb is being turned off. So I'm going to turn it on. And now you can see some of the other objects that I've already placed beforehand, including the furnitures and the text inside that region. Okay, over here in the center of drawing, I've created one new region. I need to create one text for that region. So in order to create text, first we need to define what is the text style and what is the size of the text we want to use. So you can do that inside the Annotation tab. Open up the text style table. I'm going to create a new style for myself. My text style. Then I'm going to change the height of it to 1 feet by 6 inches. And then I'm going to click on the Set Current button so that this style that I'm creating will be the current style that I'll be using for my text. So I can double check by clicking on this drop down button, make sure I select the correct text style. Okay, upon doing that, I can click on the multi-line text, create a region somewhere over here. And now I can start to type in what is the text I want, which is secretary room. And then OK. After entering the text over here, you find that the text, the color of it is not the same as the rest of the text because it's not on the correct layer. So I'm going to select the text. and change the layer to the correct layer. Okay, so this can be done very easily. Okay, remember just now under the auto layer, I have created another layer set called hatch. Okay, so I'm going to use the hatch command now, and then we'll see whether it will create the layer for me. So just to verify, I don't have the hatch layer over here. So to create the hatch, I will click on the hatch command. I will determine what is the pattern that I want to use for the hatch, which is NC32. Okay. And then I'll start to place the hatch region along the exterior and the interior wall of the floor plan. Okay, so almost done. Okay, so now you can see the hatch region is already created. But then if I zoom in, I don't really see the pattern that I've chosen, which is the NZ32. So I just have to double click again on the hatch region and change the scale of it to about 40. And now you can see the patterns that I've chosen for this particular action. Just to verify, under the layers, now you can see the hatch layer over here, which is automatically created by the system. Okay, to end things off before I proceed to get this drawing converted into a PDF, I need to apply annotations in the form of dimensions. So before I do that, make sure I am on the correct layer, which is the dimensions layer. And then I'm going to go to the annotation tab and click on dimension style. I'll click on the new button to create one new style for myself. I'll name it architectural style and change some of the settings over here. Example, the arrows, I will change it to architectural thick and the arrow size to about 1 feet. The text height, I will use the text style that I've created just now, which is my text style. And then you can see the height of it will be 1 feet 6 inches. And then I'm going to click on primary units and change the format to architectural and the precision to about 1/4 inch. Okay, upon doing that, now I'm ready to place the dimension. I'm going to click on the dimension command. I'll choose the linear dimension, place 1 over here, another 1 over here, another 2, 1 of it here, and 1 of it here. Okay, so now we are done with the drawing. We are now ready to convert the drawing into a PDF or get it printed out. This can be done in the Layout tab. So just by clicking on the Layout 1 button at the bottom, you will be able to access the layout portion of the drawing. Okay, first we will change the name of the tab over here to the paper size that we want, which is A4 size. After that, right click on the tab and click on Page Setup Manager. And we are going to set the printer to, because we'll be converting the drawing into a PDF. So I'm going to choose DWG to PDF and paper size to A4. So I'm going to choose ISO full bleed A4. The scale I'll change to 1:1. The color scheme I'll be using monochrome as the output. And then I'm going to click OK to save the settings. And now my paper size will change to A4 size. Okay, before I bring the drawing over into the layout portion, I'm going to bring in my personal title block or company template. Okay, so I can go to my Insert tab, and I'm just going to look for my title block and bring it in. Okay, now I need to have a specific margin for my title block of about 6 inch on the from the left margin, from the left corner and the bottom corner. So I'm going to type in 6 inch, comma 6 inch. And over here, they'll prompt me to enter some attribute informations. So I'm going to type in the informations that I want. Okay, example over here, I'll type in something like exterior wall, about 10 inch. And then what's the date? So the date, I'll type in today's date. Copy and paste it to some other areas. Then over here, revision will be B. And I'm going to change the description over here to interior wall, 6 inch. Okay, last but not least, the last revision, I'll type in secretary room added. Copy the date and then input some of the other informations over here. Okay, the scale that I'll be using for my layout will be 2 inch by 1 feet. And then I'll put in the name of myself. And then the revision for this drawing, B3.2. Okay, so once I've input all the information that I want, you can see the template will be populated with all the information that I've typed in just now, including my company logo and my company address over here. Okay, now I'm ready to bring in the drawing that I've created. So I just need to, before do that, I just need to create one layer for that. So I'm going to go to my layer properties, add a new layer called viewport. And I change the color to gray. And make sure under the plot column, you don't plot the viewport so that the outline of the viewport will not be visible on your PDF or your paper. Okay, once I'm done, I'm going to create the viewport. Just need to go to the layout tab, click on the rectangle command. Just draw a rectangle somewhere from the top left-hand corner until somewhere over here at the bottom right. And you'll be able to see the drawing that I've created inside the layout. Okay, next we need to define what is the scale of this particular viewport. So you just have to select the viewport, go to the status bar, click on viewport scale, and choose the scale that you want. So the scale that I want is not shown over here, so I have to customize it. I'm going to add in one over here, which is 2 inch by 1 feet. Paper unit with 2, drawing unit will be 12. Okay, upon doing that, I will select the viewport again, go to the viewport scale. Now I can see this custom scale that I've created earlier on. I'm going to click on that. And then that has been applied to my viewport. Okay, to finish things off, I have some information that I want to bring in into this layout over here in the form of PDF. So let's say you have some information that you are given to you in PDF PDF form, you want to convert it into your drawing, you can also do it in GstarCAD. So I just have to go back to my model space. Over here, I can import PDF. Select the PDF that you want to bring in. And then you can see the geometry has been imported in. So I just want some of the information here. The rest I will delete away. Okay, just this portion. And then I'm going to select this portion of the properties and switch the layer to the text layer. Okay, upon doing that, I will see that the wording over here, it still doesn't get the color that I want. So I'm going to change the color over here to by layer. Okay, so now it's done. So I just need to bring the content over here to the layout and then put it somewhere here. Okay, after I'm done, I will preview the drawing. Just have to right click and go to plot. Click on preview. This will be how my drawing will look like. Okay, after that, I'm going to print out. Okay, I'll save it on the desktop. Okay, let's go to desktop and open it up. Okay, so this is the drawing that I've created in today's webinar. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Okay, so to summarize everything, so GstarCAD is a 2D and 3D applications that can help you to create basically any 2D shapes or 3D shapes that you want. And then over here at this slide, there are some informations as regards to what the versions that we have and what the license types that we offer to our user. So GstarCAD comes in two versions. GstarCAD Standard is able to help you to accomplish basically any type of 2D drawings. But then if you need to draw any 3D stuff, you have to opt for the professional versions. This particular version will come with extensive 3D tools that can help you to create the 3D shape that you want. And then when it comes to license type, there are two types. There's a standalone and there's a network license. So standalone, which means that this license will be tied to individual PC, and only that PC will be able to use GstarCAD. But then let's say if you want to share the license around within your company, you can opt for the network license, and the license will float around your network. Whichever PC wants to use GstarCAD, they can just go to the server and grab the license and start to use it. And if you want to know more about GstarCAD, you can always go to our website, which is www.acad.com.sg to get more information. Okay, so thanks everyone for attending today's webinar. Hope to see you guys again in our future event. Thank you so much.